It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
All right, Mike, I want to start going to calls in the next segment and then get into the whole 9/11 situation coming up with you. Maybe it could be a little bit in the next hour, but I got to get into this overall militia demonization that's going on. Speaking of that, it's come out in state testimony, and I've talked to people involved at the state hearing. We're working on getting some of them on the next few days, including state representatives. And state police were censured, did get in trouble by the state attorney general over this. And the deputy lieutenant governor also exposed what was happening. But it turns out, you look at these guys, classic MO. They're cops. They're wearing these yellow bands. They're wearing the same outfits. They have the cop build. But the state's also reporting that they were there saying, let's do illegal things, let's attack. And we said this in Denver. We said this in Ottawa. We've been right every time. When you look at them, you can instantly tell a cop. You know, they normally only put cops they think can take care of themselves in these situations. They're normally about 6'2" to 6'5", big arms. It's the steroid-type cops, the intelligence units. These are probably feds. A lot of times they command squads, though, of meth heads that are under them, the local foundation drug addicts, and they've been caught. And they have anarchist sites that attack me. We know they're feds as well. They've been caught getting federal money. But the state's reporting they think this was provocateur. I agree. Looking at them, we'll put the image up on screen. It's up on prisonplanet.com. Provocateurs at In the Fed rally. These are cops, bottom line. I can look at you. I can tell you these are cops. Go ahead, Mike Rivero.
Well, first of all, I want to start off by saying that I know everyone talks about revolution and guns and militias and the rest of it, but the reality is this revolution is already underway, and it's going to be one with keyboards, not with firearms. It's going to be one with microphones. It's going to be one with computers and so forth and so on. But the government is desperate to recast the image of the opposition into that of a villain, because it all comes down to public support. The side with the most public support is going to win. When the founding fathers wanted to start a new nation and kick the old government out, they needed support of the general public. So those of us who want to effect change in this country, we need the support of the general public. We need them out there marching with us, protesting with us, signing petitions with us, urging change. What the government wants to do is put out a bunch of these agent provocateurs to pretend to be part of our group and then behave in a way that will destroy public sympathy for us. I think the classic example of that happened back in the Vietnam War, where the FBI, operating under orders from the Nixon White House, used their undercover college informants, and they're still on there today. Any students listening to this show, you need to be aware of that. And they used their undercover college informants to organize a multi-campus anti-war demonstration in front of the Disneyland theme park in Anaheim, California. Once they were there, the undercover agents provocateurs led the protest inside the park and started causing a lot of property damage. The newspaper photographers showed up, took pictures, the National Guard showed up. The next day it was on every newspaper in America, and in that one headline of those so-called peace activists beating up on Mickey Mouse, they completely discredited the anti-war movement, which allowed the Vietnam War to continue for another 2 years.
And it later came out in the Senator Church Committee. This is all confirmed that they do this. And now it's coming out. We fingered years ago Hal Turner as FBI, and now it's admitted he is.
Yeah, they're using that as his defense in court, that he was only doing what the federal government told him to do. I mean, the government survives by creating the very enemies we're supposed to be afraid of. The Symbionese Liberation Army was manufactured by the FBI. They kidnapped Patty Hearst to guarantee themselves newspaper coverage. And by the way,
that's now been declassified, that it was all staged with her, staged with the Hearst family. That's Popular Mechanics, you know, the father of yellow journalism, all staged. All staged.
And now we've got the British Secret Service has declassified documents. The whole hijacking that led to the raid on Entebbe was also staged. It was done to destroy popular support for the Palestinians, who had nothing to do with it. And so when you're out there and you're seeing these groups that are saying we're opposed to the government, and they're acting in a way that is just going to scare you, they're probably government plants, because that is the only way the government can destroy sympathy for those of us who want to restore this country to the freedoms that we used to have. They're out there trying to convince you that terrorism, which is made by the government, is the justification to surrender your personal freedoms and rights. That's all they can think of selling you. Because as long as you have freedom of speech and you have the freedom to go out on the net and find information for yourself, the government is doomed because they've survived so long on lies, they don't have anything else to hold them up.
Well, Mike, you're right. This is a 2 + 2 = 4 equation. If the whole economy is being converted to police and military and anti-terror, and private groups are making all the money off of it, who stands to gain to have terrorism? Key bono, who benefits? Motive. And then you go look at the evidence, it's them. And so they're going to stage attacks, they're going to shoot people, they're going to do all this, they're going to do another Oklahoma City, I see that in the cards, unless we get the word out. But even if they do it, we just expose that event. They want it to be violent. That tells you shouldn't be violent.